welcome back to Love Unfiltered, the podcast where we dive deep into the complexities of modern love and relationships. I'm Logan, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a long-distance relationship, or maybe you're navigating one right now? Whether it's a few hours drive, different states, or even across continents, long-distance relationships are a whole different ballgame. They come with their own unique set of joys, challenges, and lessons that can test even the strongest bonds. In today's episode, we're tackling the topic of long-distance relationships. What makes them work, what makes them fall apart, and how can you keep the love alive despite the miles in between? We'll explore the tools, strategies, and mindset shifts that can turn the distance from a barrier into a bridge. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into a world of long-distance love. I have invited a student from a diverse background to share his unique perspective on love, relationships, and everything in between. Let's go around and meet everyone. Please state your name, classification, and major.
Mars Smith-Amole, class of 2024, hospitality.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me. All right.
This is all mine.
Yes. Did you know that over 14 million couples in the U.S. are in long-distance relationships?
That I really didn't know.
Yes. And here's another surprising fact. A study found that nearly 60% of these couples believe the distance actually helped them communicate better and build stronger connections.
Well, I have a few like mixed messages in terms of that. I mean, I would say the pros show the true nature of what your relationship is like, and the cons is you're gonna need to like save up a lot of money if you're in like overseas, for example. If you're like in Chicago, in Sweden.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. Like that amount of distance could cause some complications with regard to seeing that person in person.
Yeah. If you're gonna stay in a relationship, you're gonna need to save up enough money to meet each other physically. So I don't think it's just being distant with each other. It's gonna help. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it does work, and depending on the distance. Like for example, if you're living in the same state, take Princess Anne, for example, and if you're in Baltimore, then it shouldn't be that complicated to meet one another physically.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, long distance love isn't as rare or as impossible as many people think, though. And today we're unpacking the reality behind those numbers and exploring what it takes to make a long-distance relationship not just survive, but thrive.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, a long-distance relationship, or LDR, is typically defined as a romantic partnership where physical distance prevents frequent in-person interaction. This can mean living in different cities, states, or even countries, depending on the couple. What sets an LDR apart is the need to rely on alternative forms of communication, such as calls, texts, and video chats to maintain a connection. So, why do people find themselves in long-distance relationships? There are several common reasons. Career opportunities. One partner might relocate for a job, promotion, or new career path that doesn't align with the other partner's location. Education. College or graduate school can take partners to different campuses, states, or even countries. Family commitments. Taking care of family members or fulfilling responsibilities in different locations can create physical separation. Military service. Members of the military and their partners often face periods of long distance due to deployments or relocations. And finally, meeting online. With the rise of online dating, many relationships begin long distance, with partners living far apart from the start, which we will cover in a later episode about online dating. But despite the distance, these couples often find creative ways to nurture their bond, proving that love can transcend miles with effort, communication, and trust. What are your thoughts, Mar?
I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I'm gonna make it short and simple. So first of all, if you're gonna be like long distance, I like I did mention like a few minutes ago, was like make sure that you're actually like serious that you want to do this, because you never know like what could happen. Because like for example, what you just mentioned, like the military, you're going to be like away for like a long time, and you never know when you may hear from them again. Because when you're in the military, like it's that nothing the people tell you is either a request, an option, nor a suggestion. So you will have privileges to communicate whenever like you're on base. And for being overseas, yes, you need to like make arrangements to meet one another if it's affordable. But if it's not affordable, then you might as well gonna have to like prepare for the worst, because you need to make sure that you have enough money to like see each other, not all the time, like a few times a week or a month.
Right. Yeah. I feel like being in the military definitely would take um a lot of way from the relationship, because that person is not just like on vacation. They're not on vacation at all. They're at work.
Right.
And are in another country. Most times deployment is overseas. So they could be in Japan and you can be in America, and that's a long time. Not only that, but time differences is a thing.
It really is, because I lived overseas for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I haven't been in like many relationships, but at least I have the experience of like a semi like relationship. So I'm gonna call it semi relationship. So, for instance, a year before my first year at UMES, I was kind of in a relationship with this girl. All right, so during the pandemic, I was staying with my mom's in Tanzania, and she was in Pennsylvania. So we did communicate like a few times, but it turns out that it really like didn't work out. It's a really long, complicated story. But the bottom line is that is that if you're not like communicating as like strongly and like committed as a official like couple, then that means it's curtains for you. And so whenever you're in like touch with another, you need to like make sure that you know what's going on. Otherwise, there could be trouble, and there could be like misunderstandings, and that's like one of the most the most of difficulties in relationships, with why relationships are failing.
I definitely agree with that. I believe that with if you're not like communicating well, and you don't have like, I don't know, if you're just not communicating well, and you're being difficult, it can cause a lot of unnecessary stress and tension in the relationship, and that can easily happen because you're not in person as much as you would like to be. So communication is very heavily important in a long distance relationship rather than one where you're in person most of the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I was in a long distance relationship. Well, my second relationship turned into a long distance relationship. And it was very hard because that was my first time being in a long distance relationship. And I mean, it was cool or whatever, but the problem was that my partner did not communicate very well at all. And so,
That's not good.
yeah, and we had other issues before we were long distance that kind of made it hard for me to trust him and be okay with us being apart. And whenever I would ask him like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" and he would give me very vague answers, and that would make me feel paranoid because I was like, well, why are you responding in that way? And like I said, we've had history with like bad things happening in our relationship. So it wasn't really helpful. His responses, his tone, how he handled the situations, and he did not communicate at all. Like, especially like when we would have arguments. Like if we had disagreements, he would ghost me for a couple of days or a couple of hours, or He would give me the silent treatment, and and of course everybody knows that's not good communication at all in a relationship, because
Yes.
if you're mad, you should handle that situation in the moment, or at least take a little breather and then come back. But you shouldn't go to sleep mad at one another.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, because it's like if you do that, that means you're not emotionally mature for a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to sort yourself out before you're in a relationship, because relationships it's not a game.
Mm-hmm. It's not. And I believe that long distance relationships are more demanding when it comes to communication, because, like I said, you're far apart. So that communication has to be very consistent, or, like you said, the current's going to close. It's not going to work out at all in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. This actually reminds me of that episode on iCarly, when they had a teacher who went through a breakup, and then she started dating Carly's brother. But it turns out I can see why she got dumped, because her behavior was like whack. Like, for example, she was like writing down like the times when she tried to call Spencer, and then she got mad when he didn't respond. He says, "I'd like to know where you are when I'm not with you." Like, whoa, that's a little controlling. I can't believe I didn't like notice this back when I was a kid, but now rewatching that as an adult.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's cool if, like, your partner tells you where you are, or where they are and stuff like that. But making that, like, I don't know, some people, every couple's different. Some couples, they require that, or or it's like, it's nice to know that.
Yeah.
I'm not really, I don't like the whole requirement thing, because I feel like there's a little controlling, and actually it is
Yeah. I mean,
controlling.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that it's nice to let you know, but but if, like, the person asked you and you didn't give them a straightforward answer, then that can cause, like, some, them feeling suspicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was gonna say, and I was thinking too, because like you're not obligated to tell me like where you are or where you're going. But if you're gonna be like away for a while, and if you're not back as you said you were, then I like to know what's going on, if everything's okay, because I want to like check on you to see how you're doing. But at the same time, if you're not giving me a straight answer, then something I'm gonna think that something is up, because that's what communication is all about. And I also forgot to mention another example was you know that movie called Obsessed, like Idris Elba.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, yes, it has Beyonce in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just like married a couple who just moved to a new neighborhood, and Idris Elba's character had a stalker. He had a stalker, and he didn't tell his wife about it, and so she was like pissed off, and like the middle of the movie. And I don't really like blame her, because I'm on like both sides, because the husband was the victim. He was being harassed and like stalked, and he asking the woman to like leave him alone, and she wouldn't. And he should have like told her about this, and things would have been like a whole lot different. So I don't blame Beyonce's character for being upset, because I would have felt the same way if that was happening to like my wife or girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely just, like, keep communicating. Communication is very important, not in just a relationship where you're in person most of the time, but it's a lot more heavily important in a long distance relationship.
Right, right.
Okay. Well, long distance relationships, they can be challenging, but, they also come with surprising benefits that can help couples grow both individually and as a team.
Yeah, I agree.
Here are some key advantages that, can help when it comes to long distance relationships, just to kind of alleviate those challenging parts, right? So,
Right.
one, stronger communication skills. When you're physically apart, communication becomes the cornerstone of your relationship. Couples in a long distance relationships often learn to express themselves more clearly and listen more effectively, which strengthens their emotional connection. Two, personal growth. The distance gives both partners the space to pursue their own goals, hobbies, and interests. This independence can lead to personal growth, which in turn makes the relationship stronger as both partners bring their best selves to the table. Three, deeper appreciation for time together. Long distance couples often value their time together more deeply, cherishing every visit and making the most of shared moments. This mindset can bring a level of gratitude and intentionality to the relationship that others may take for granted. 4. Building trust and patience. Being apart requires a higher level of trust and patience as you learn to rely on your partner's consistency and commitment. These qualities can serve as a solid foundation for the relationship's future. And finally, 5. Strengthened conflict resolution skills. Without the option to sweep issues under the rug, long distance couples often become skilled at addressing conflicts head on, fostering open and constructive discussions. While long distance relationships aren't easy, the skills and qualities developed through the experience can lead to a stronger and more resilient partnership in the long run. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty like valid as well. So whenever you're like away from somebody, like those attention, and it can like benefit you to like what's going on like around you. Like remember like what they taught me, or like did for me, and it'll like keep peace within your mind and soul.
Yeah. Um for me, in my second relationship, I didn't really have any of those benefits at all. And I think that was because of him. We did not have our communication skills did not grow. And it was more so on his end. I tried my hardest to encourage him to communicate with me more, express himself more clearly, listen more effectively, and that he did not do that. He didn't listen. He didn't express himself at all, and I also didn't feel like I could express myself either. And with personal growth, that distance did not. I mean, I did pursue my own goals and hobbies and interests, but at the same time, I was in a toxic, abusive relationship, and he, even though we were like not that far apart, like he was 2 hours away, he still tried to control what I did at school. So, like, he controlled who I would be friends with. He told me I couldn't go to parties. He told me that
Oh my god.
yeah, he told me I couldn't go to parties. He told me I couldn't hang out with certain people, like I said. And he also tried to, he also was upset about the fact that I was Miss Skateboard for the coronation ceremony this past fall. And so I really was struggling to have fun by myself with my own friends and my peoples, and I felt like I couldn't really do what I wanted to do freely without him complaining about something or telling me I couldn't do it and all those things. So there was that. And he did not appreciate the time that we had together. Like, I think I saw him way too much somehow. Like, I would go home, and I feel stupid for having done it, but like I literally went home every weekend to go see him because he wasn't at school. And but then when I stopped seeing him every weekend, I feel like he would ask me to come get him and bring him back to campus so he could spend the weekend there, or a couple of days there. But he didn't cherish those moments where he was down there with me. He honestly was down there just to see his friends or to do whatever he wanted to do. It had nothing to do with me being there, you know?
Wow, five red flags out
Yeah.
the cards. Wow.
Yes. And
Yikes.
conflict resolution skills and the building trust and patience, everything, all these 5 benefits went straight out the window when it came to our relationship. And so honestly, what I can say about these benefits is that these benefits are not going to be for everybody, or not going to happen or develop for everybody, because for
That's true. That's
me,
true.
I didn't see any of these 5 benefits. Now, for other couples, yeah, they probably will see some or all of these benefits. So just keep that in mind. I would say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I could actually like tell if somebody has a red flag in them or not. Because I'm all about like logicality.
Mm-hmm.
It's being logic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So, uh, also was in this relationship with, actually it turns out not to be a real one. I was being played. It was like back in middle school. So it was like back in seventh to eighth grade. This girl who I liked, which I thought she likes me, but she was using me to get to a friend. Anywho, she's history. So she moved to Canada, and that's when there was like the distance like relationship, because I was in like Hong Kong like during that time.
Mm.
Yes, so she's in like Vancouver, and so when my friend told me the truth, that's when I was like done with her. I should have been like done like a long time ago. There were like more red flags that I found, like like making fun of like one of my family members' weight, and like a few other things which I'm not really going to mention on here. But nevertheless, I should have been done with her. I was like a people pleaser and pushover, but I shouldn't be too hard on myself, because I was like between like 13 and like 15. During the time when we're like young, we don't like know like too much. We think we do, but we don't. But as the years go by, we start to like mature and and learn.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like I've matured definitely from this second relationship in a way of understanding. Like, I definitely saw the red flags in the moment, but I guess I was just, that love kind of made me bury it all under and kind of ignore the fact that it happened. But now that I'm out of that relationship and I escaped, now I'm like, I'm never, ever, ever letting another man treat me like that, you know? And now,
Nobody deserves to be treated like that at all.
no, nobody does. And now I know what red flags to look out for. And if I see them, I know how to react. I know what to do. And that is to leave. So, yeah.
One of the philosophies that I followed, whenever I reached my late teens to early 20s, it's from this movie that came out almost 30 years ago, with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It's called Heat. So the motto is, don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner.
Mm. And is that because you probably won't leave?
Pardon?
Is that because you probably won't leave?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it really like depends on the kind of like relationship. But you know what? Yeah, so whenever you feel like there's something like going on, you gotta like pull back as possible, as much as possible. And so if you keep like seeing these like red signatures, like that's like the red flag signatures. That's the heat that you feel, and you feel like the relationship's not getting like any better. You best to like pull back. Just like try to communicate so you can get some clarification. But if it's not like going how you plan for it to be, they keep pulling back, and then you have 30 seconds to make a choice. Either be in a miserable relationship, which is like not even that anymore, or get up and go on with your life and find somebody who respects you and treats you better with communication.
I agree with that analogy. Yeah, I really, really like that analogy. All right, so the challenges of long distance relationships. So, long distance relationships can be rewarding, like we went over, but they're not without their struggles. So, let's unpack some of the most common challenges. One, emotional strain. Being apart from your partner for extended periods can create emotional strain. It's difficult to maintain a sense of closeness and intimacy without the physical presence of a loved one. Small gestures like hugs or shared meals are often taken for granted but become a source of longing in long distance dynamics. 2. Trust and communication. Distance can amplify insecurities and doubts. Misunderstandings are easier to arise when communication relies heavily on text or calls, which lack nonverbal cues. Building and maintaining trust is essential, but it requires consistent effort and transparency from both partners. 3. Loneliness and isolation. The physical separation can sometimes lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation. Watching others engage in relationships with daily interactions can intensify these emotions, potentially impacting mental health and creating periods of emotional vulnerability. And finally, 4, balancing schedules. Whether it's conflicting work commitments or different time zones, finding the right time to connect can be a major hurdle. Juggling busy lives while ensuring regular communication requires careful planning and a lot of patience. Despite these challenges, long distance relationships are far from impossible. They demand creativity, resilience, and mutual commitment. But with the right tools and mindset, couples can overcome the struggles and grow even stronger. What are your thoughts, Mar?
So my thoughts in terms of what you said. So nothing is impossible, and like relationships may be like hard, especially like long distance. But both ways, it's not rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, you have to be like willing to like put in the work to for your relationship to work if you're like, especially if you're long distance, because let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So you need like make sure that everything is going like smooth, and and like I said, lots of benefits. Like it's lots of like benefits. So I don't even know like where to start, because I feel like I'm just like repeating the same thing from before.
Mm-hmm.
So so what else would you like me to like share like regarding that? Because I think I missed one part you said.
I think about, let's see, we went over trusted communication,
Trust, yes.
emotional strain, like maintaining that closeness and intimacy without that physical part.
Yes.
Loneliness and isolation. So like, I guess if you like end up seeing some other people together and they're obviously together, that
Oh.
can like make you miss your partner.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, you could. Yeah, whenever you see like couples like around, like when you go to the grocery store, the mall, or even like a restaurant,
Or
which is
school.
nice. Yeah. That too. Yes. So if you start to, like to miss your partner, you want to call him or her, but then if they're not like available, then you start to feel you probably like will feel like miserable until you're able to get a hold of them, or if you're like
Mm,
watching a movie as well.
yeah. For me
Yeah.
though,
Mm-hmm.
you can finish.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh well, I was just gonna say like, for me, I did have longing. I had a lot of moments where I saw other couples. Most times it was in a calf, and I would see these people, and obviously they're together, and it made me miss. It made me long for that, and it wasn't, and unfortunately, it wasn't that I was longing for him. It was the fact that I was longing for something like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because literally, like I said, it was not a good relationship. And so I didn't long for him, because why would I long for somebody that hurts me all the time?
Yeah.
Whether it's physical or emotional or mental. So I was longing for the love. I was longing for a relationship with somebody who actually cares about me, who actually wants to be around me, and generally enjoys their time with me. I think I already said that. I just
Yeah.
want to be with someone who cares about me and treats me right. And whenever I saw people who were obviously happy, it made me feel sad because I wasn't happy. So that's what I went through when it came to that loneliness and isolation.
Yeah. So keep in mind, whenever you start a new relationship, you might want to ask yourself, like, do you want to be like in a relationship, or you just want the attention? Because if you just get into a relationship because you're like lonely and all, like you're lonely and all, you'll start to feel like a baby that needs to you know what 24/7.
Right, like being dependent.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just like depend on people like to make you happy. You gotta make yourself like happy and do things for yourself so that makes you happy if you're gonna be in a relationship. It's like do things that like motivates you, and that'll benefit you to be in a new relationship. So whenever you feel like you're in a bad relationship, just like try to like set boundaries with your partner, but if they can't like seem to be committed to that, then it might the two of you like may not be like compatible. But like I said, breakups are supposed to be for last resort.
Mm-hmm. And for me though, I like had a lot going on for myself, like the clubs and the organizations and being the president of the skateboarding club on campus, and I had a lot going on for myself. I was trying to make new friends. I had my family. But the thing was that he was trying to take away all those things. It was like he wasn't happy that I was happy because
Wow,
he
he
wasn't
must
happy.
not. Yeah, he must not have been like happy of the things that are going on in his life. So
Oh, definitely not. Mm-mm.
yeah, people out there who are like negative towards you, like severely, are probably just wanting to be angry for angry's sake. I think that they're insecure. They may have some things going on in their lives and stuff, but I personally think that these people like should take a second and reflect on why they're negative about anything in life, and then maybe like relook at what's going on and try to see and try to like cope with it. If you try something that the other person like likes doing, then you might get the feeling of enjoying it. You won't be as negative as you are.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that, and I'm definitely going to utilize what I've learned in any future relationships that I am in, because I know what I deserve now, and I know my worth, and I need to teach myself to know my worth and to remind myself that I am worthy of love. If I keep reminding myself that, then one day there will be somebody who will find me, and they will truly love me the way I deserve to be loved.
Yeah, because you know that love is like it's just like stupid luck. Sometimes you meet somebody who feels the same way about you, and then like sometimes you can be like unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
Yes, but like I said,
I thought I was
like
lucky, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
that,
I thought I was lucky in the beginning, and
well,
then by
good.
like month 4, it like no, not even month 4. Like yeah, by month 4, it literally completely changed. He completely showed his true self, and but I was so deep in that love that I kind of just what's it called, pushed the red flags aside.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, this is okay. I'm gonna say this. This is a little like irrelevant from long distance, but this was my first like relationship, my first official like real relationship. So I was 15, and I really should have told her that I wasn't interested, but I accepted her because I was desperate, and as the months went by, I tried to look over her, but I actually saw through her, because one time I had to go to my uncle's funeral, and that's when her true colors started to come out, and then she started like yelling and cursing me out because I had to go to my uncle's funeral, and all she cared about was our dinner reservation.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yes,
wow.
yeah. So I didn't think that's something that she would do and all, but like I said, I didn't really like her that much. Not only like she wasn't like really like my type, but still I still like took a chance on her, and I really like I said I should have said no from the start, and should have like been done with her like before after like the situation happened. But then I met somebody during that time later at summer camp. Then I started to make a connection with her, and then I actually felt a spark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I broke up with her, and I don't know why I felt guilty. I shouldn't have, because I had like so much empathy. So nevertheless, this actually like taught me like an important lesson, because you don't. Okay, I learned a long time ago from the song from the Rolling Stones, like Mick Jagger, like for example. So
Mm-hmm.
in the song it says you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you get what you need.
Yeah. So basically, is it basically like if you know what you deserve and you look for that, is you're gonna find it?
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, you eventually, but there are a few bumps on the road.
Yeah, Yes, of course. Like, also self-love. That's important too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, self love. Make sure it's not like ego love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like I try to be as like humble.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Here are some key strategies for making a long distance relationship work. Long distance relationships thrive when both partners commit to making them work. Here are some essential strategies to strengthen your bond despite the miles. 1. Effective communication. Communication is the foundation of any relationship, but is even more critical in long distance dynamics. Schedule regular check ins, whether daily calls or weekly video chats, and ensure conversations are open and honest. Share your thoughts, feelings, and daily experiences to maintain an emotional connection. Remember, qualities matter more than quantity. Focus on being present during your conversations. 2. Setting clear expectations. Misaligned expectations can lead to frustration. Define your relationship's goals and boundaries early on. Are you aiming for a future where you live closer? How often do you want to communicate? Discuss these aspects to ensure you're on the same page and avoid misunderstandings. 3. Maintaining trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship. Be transparent about your life. Share your plans and avoid secrecy. Small gestures like texting when you're busy or sharing updates about your day can reinforce trust. Trust building takes time, so be patient and consistent. 4. Scheduling visits. In-person visits are invaluable. Plan trips ahead of time to give both partners something to look forward to. Maximize this time by focusing on meaningful activities that deepen your connection. Explore new places together, have heartfelt conversations, or enjoy shared hobbies. 5. Sharing experiences virtually. Even when apart, you can create shared memories. Watch movies together using apps like Teleparty, play online games, or plan virtual date nights with themes like cooking the same meal or doing a DIY project. These shared activities help recreate the feeling of togetherness. Now, while long distance relationships require extra effort, as I said before, these strategies can help bridge the gap, keeping the relationship strong and resilient. What are your thoughts, Mar?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because all of these things are like affirming that you can trust your partner no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But if something happens, you gotta be sure to tell them what's going on and have a good excuse for it, because don't if you're gonna, like, for example, like make arrangements to like meet your significant other when you're like overseas, but you tell them that you can't make it. Like the excuse that I can accept is like if you're sick. If you're sick, and you have to go to a funeral, or I think, or if it's work that's urgent, then I can accept that. But you're gonna have to be willing to reschedule it as soon as possible, or whatever the next time is like super efficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, let's see. For me, in my long distance relationship, or when it became a long distance relationship, we did call a lot. And we would like fall asleep on the phone and stuff like that at night. But at some point, I'm not gonna lie, especially in this semester, we stopped calling on the phone as much to go to sleep. And I did notice that a lot. And then he told me that he'd rather not do that as much. And he didn't even give me an explanation as to why, except for the fact that he just didn't want to do it as much anymore. And I don't know if that's a red flag or not, like that random change in habit or an agreed upon thing that we do together that's nice, and romantic. I would think, you know. And that was like kind of like a weird little change there. Let's see. Maintaining trust. The whole being transparent about your life, sharing your plans. He didn't do any of that. Like literally, he would. hardly would tell me when he was good, when he was like, if he had something to do, he would just tell me I'm busy.
Yeah, that's a red flag because somebody keeps saying that you're busy this, you're busy that.
But it's like
Like,
very vague. It's like, well, what are you busy with though? Like,
exactly. Be
and then
specific.
and then when I would ask him, he would get mad at me. Like, I don't need to tell you, or it's none of your business. Things like that. That's like those red flags. Like, oh well, dang, why are you, like, what are you trying to hide? You know,
Yeah, what's
and
with the attitude?
and it was avoid secrecy. Like, one thing is for certain, and I don't know why I didn't. Well, I saw it as a red flag, but like I said, I did avoid the red flags. Or I'm sorry, not avoid. I ignored them.
Right.
I used to be in his bio on Instagram. You know, my at username, my Instagram handle, and then he removed it from his bio.
Wow.
And randomly, literally randomly. And I asked him, why'd you remove it? And he made up this dumbass excuse and was like, oh, because I have plans for my account, like future plans.
That's stupid.
I'm like, what's that mean? What's that mean? That literally, like, what is your account going under construction? Renovation? That does not make sense. Why? So you, my username being there was the only thing you changed. He didn't change nothing else.
Crazy.
He didn't delete any posts. He didn't, like, literally the only thing that he changed was the fact my name was in his bio. That's a red flag. That means that he's trying to hide the fact that he's in a relationship from other people, other women. I honestly, look, Mara, when I tell you there were so many times I should have broken up with him and I didn't, it is ridiculous.
I can so relate. Back when I was mentioning my first relationship, like too many red flags I ignored.
Too many. I can't even count on my fingers how many red flags literally I have more than 10 fingers that I could count on. And that's ridiculous. But it's like, you will do crazy things for love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never doing that again, though. I'm sure of that. Because, no, bro, that's crazy. Like, I should have known, but I decided not to argue against it. Because I honestly think I was trying to avoid conflict. Because every time we did argue, it would get really bad.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid conflict when I started high school. But it turns out, I actually read a book on the power of conflict when I was going through a breakup 2 years ago. It was my second relationship in my first year at UMES. So the power of conflict gives you the results that you'll need.
Mm-hmm. And it also builds on those skills of resolving them as well.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to get into arguments and disagreements with your partner. It's how you handle it that matters.
Right.
Literally. All right, so for the practical tips for staying connected in a long-distance relationship. So, staying connected despite the physical distance is vital to keeping the emotional bond alive. Here are some practical tips to help maintain closeness. 1. Daily and weekly check-ins. Just make sure you text them throughout the day, schedule nightly phone calls, or having a longer video chat at the end of the week. Be intentional about these moments, treating them as a sacred time to focus on your relationship. Even a simple good morning or good night message can create a sense of connection and routine. 2. Surprises and thoughtful gestures. Surprises can keep the spark alive. Send unexpected gifts like a book they've been wanting to read or their favorite snacks. Handwritten letters or postcards can feel more personal and nostalgic than a text message. Now, I know it's cliche, but trust me, guys, a nice little lady will love to receive a little handwritten letter or even a poem in text. And a surprise video call when you know they're free can also brighten their day. Celebrate milestones, even from afar. Plan something special for anniversaries or personal achievements. That's a big one. 3. Virtual activities. Find creative ways to spend quality time together remotely. Cook the same recipe and enjoy a meal over a video call. Watch a movie or TV show together using apps like Teleparty so you can react and comment in real time. Play online games or participate in virtual escape rooms for fun and interactive bonding. Share your day-to-day experiences by sending photos or videos, whether it's a beautiful sunset, a cute pet moment, or something that reminded you of them. These small yet meaningful efforts can bridge the distance and nurture a sense of togetherness, reminding both partners that the relationship remains a priority. What are your thoughts, Mar?
Yes. Yeah. So whenever you're doing like these practical like gestures, you wanna have like a grand gestures at some point in a long distance relationship to like keep the spark alive and to keep showing them how special they are and how much you've been like it shows like how much you've been thinking about them whenever you're like thousands of miles away. But I'm talking about like overseas. But if you're talking about like in the same country or like same state, then that's like a whole like different story.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're in the same states, so you wanna like plan out like a special like dinner, a special dinner or or a special picnic whenever you meet your significant other, and you want to make sure that it's like special, like not too perfect, just to show them how much you really love, care for them, and miss them.
I definitely agree with that. For those
Uh,
oh, sorry, you can go.
oh no, that's cough.
Oh, okay. I would
Excuse me.
say for like, oh my goodness. For my second relationship, it's funny because the daily and weekly check-ins, like, even like simple things like a good morning or good night message, I wouldn't even get those anymore from him.
Mm.
Like, he wouldn't tell me good morning or good night. He wouldn't call me little pet names like my love or sweetheart or beautiful or any of those things. Especially in the later parts of our relationship, especially like this fall semester, I wouldn't get any of that. Nothing loving, nothing caring, nothing sweet. It was just so stale. It was just like I
Yeah.
could tell he was there presently, but at the same time he wasn't. And most of the time he was not. The only times, honestly, like Mara, I'm telling you, a majority of the time that we were together, it was negative. I think a majority of the time during that relationship, I was in tears. I think
Wow.
I was more so sad than happy. Um,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, the the surprises and thoughtful gestures. I didn't get any gifts from him. Honestly, I think that when he tried to give me gifts, I swear he like grabbed like random items out of his house and would give them to me and say, "Hey, I got this for you," but literally like belonged to his mom or something.
Yeah, that's
I
actually funny because
like wow.
I actually seen that in a TV show once before, where it was this couple who was going to celebrate their anniversary. So the girlfriend got this guy like a special camera. I think it was.
Mhm.
So it turns out the guy forgot about the anniversary, and so he did like try to make up like an excuse saying that he made a love poem. So when his girlfriend asked to sing it to her, and then he tried to sing the like poem to her, but she said, "Wait a minute, you forgot because that poem didn't rhyme. You just came up with that right now."
I'm saying like
That's
and,
hilarious. But
and I never complained because I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna complain because I didn't want to seem like I was what's it called, like I was being not selfish, but I don't know, like I don't know, ungrateful. I didn't want to seem like I was ungrateful. I was like, I always accepted all the gifts, but I knew I something told me I knew he got it from it was his mom's stuff. But I never complained. I was like, okay, thank you. And I like one time he gave me a bunch of soaps and stuff, and I knew it was in like the little in the bottle soaps and body washes, and I knew that it was his mom's that she didn't use because she would buy a bunch of stuff but would never use it, right? And so he would just grab random things she never used and would be like, "Hi, I got this gift for you," and I'm like, "That's nice." But then I would go and use my money and get him flowers. Because I am not against getting my man flowers. That's just me. Because
Oh, okay.
this is what I believe. This is fact. Men, the only time they will get flowers in their lives is when they're dead.
Right, right.
So I try to make sure that the guys that I would be with receive flowers. Like, hey, what's your favorite flower? Okay, you like poppies? I got you. And I will give him a poppy, and he can water it and take care of it and nurture it. And I love that because it makes him smile, you know? Now, some guys are going to get defensive. Like, oh, why'd you give me a flower? That's gay. Or, things like that. Like, yeah, I'm a guy. I don't need flowers. But I try to be sweet in that way. And I would go out of my way to buy things for him and all these things. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that because he didn't do it for me in exchange.
Right. I see your point. You know what? If I was like the boyfriend like that time, I would have been like grateful. It's like it's not always about like what you expect or want. It's about what the person is like doing for you. It comes like mentally, spiritually.
Mm-hmm. And I never really felt like he was grateful. I think he was just like, oh, wow, she got me something else. Yay. Because I swear he was using me for my money, for my car, for my time, my effort, literally everything. He was just using me. And so I don't think he was really grateful. He was just like, oh, I got another thing. But wouldn't, like, gift me anything. And another thing that is said was something about, what was it? It was about, milestones, like planning something for anniversaries. Oh my gosh, when I tell you we didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, even though I asked him if we could do something for Valentine's Day this year, he refused to do anything for Valentine's Day, anything sweet. I didn't have to go on some romantic candlelight dinner that's expensive. I don't need to do that.
That is red flag.
Yes.
Feel like number 50. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying that, unless you're offering, yeah, sure, take down a candlelight dinner, but I'm not gonna like make it a requirement, we could sit inside and watch a romance movie and eat popcorn, and we could have like a dinner at the cafe, and I would be completely fine with that, because at least we're celebrating being together on Valentine's Day, because it's the day of love, right? But no, literally, we did nothing. And then I think he felt bad because he was really mean about it. He said, I don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day. It's stupid. I don't celebrate holidays. He was such a Grinch. And it ruined my mood. And so then, randomly, this is when he went to the school. I guess he had French class, and they were making these, like, Valentine's Day hearts. So he made one for me and gave it to me as a gift. And I put on a little smile, and I was like, yes, thank you, it's nice. But it hurt. It hurt that I felt like he wasn't being genuine. He was just giving me something so that I wasn't sad anymore. But he's the one that made me sad in the first place. And then not only that, when our first year anniversary came around, and I reminded him of it coming up, and then the day of, he didn't want to do anything. He was like, it's not that special.
That's just sad.
And he actually told me to my face, it's not that special. It's just 1 year. It's just 1 year. Sir, 1 year is a long time.
Yeah, it's like Christmas, Halloween.
I'm saying, like, it's like a birthday. Like, we made it to our 1 year milestone, and you're saying that doesn't matter? And that really hurt. It hurt that I was with somebody that did not care about the fact that we were with each other for that long. Because for me, it mattered to me because my first relationship ended around 5 months. So making it when me and my second boyfriend made it past 5 months and we made it to month 6, I was excited. Cause I was like, yeah, I finally made it to month 6 with somebody, because the last one broke up with me at 5 months. You get what I mean? And then what was it? And then when our first year anniversary came around, he's just like, I don't give a shit. I was like, dang, that's messed up. So I'm saying, like, people listening to this, listen and heed my words on all of these tips that I'm giving you. Daily and weekly check-ins, whether phone call, text, whatever, video call, simple good mornings and good nights create a sense of connection and routine. Surprises and thoughtful gestures like little snacks or just little small gifts or handwritten letters, just something simple, it goes a long way. And also remembering your anniversaries or congratulating someone for a personal achievement. He would never congratulate me, never. Every time I had an achievement, I would tell him. He's like, "Oh, that's nice."
I would have said that. I don't know why you even been with him in the first place. But you know what? I don't like to question people's relationship history, because like I said, you don't always get what you want, but in the end, you get what you need. And I tell you, my friend, you have definitely got what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, especially whenever you're doing everything, your efforts to show that person you love and care for them, and you try to look through them, but you actually are seeing through them. And if you're always going above and beyond, and you're getting nothing or very little in return, then or no appreciation or no thank yous, no reciprocations, just move on.
Yeah, and I have moved on, and I found peace. The one thing I didn't have that entire relationship, nearly 2 years, I finally found peace.
Yes, keep in mind whenever you're in a long-term relationship, still watch out for some things, because you never know what could happen. Because I watched this movie called Diary of a Mad Black Woman. It's the first Madea movie. You seen that, right?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, you got to check it out. Then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Now, getting onto that topic about handling those difficult times in a long distance relationship. Let's face it, long distance relationships can be tough. There will be moments of frustration, loneliness, and even doubt. Acknowledging these emotions is crucial. It's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. What matters is how you handle those moments together. Coping during tough times. Focus on self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential. Engage in activities that bring you joy, help you relax, and boost your confidence. Whether it's exercising, journaling, or pursuing a hobby, self-care helps you feel centered and better equipped to handle challenges. Maintain a support system. Don't underestimate the importance of friends and family. Lean on them for support when you're feeling lonely. They can provide perspective, encouragement, or just a listening ear when you need it most. Communicate openly. Share your feelings with your partner, even the difficult ones. Let them know when you're struggling. It's an opportunity to work through challenges as a team. When to reconsider the future? Sometimes, despite your best efforts, an LDR may reach a crossroad. It's important to evaluate the relationship if trust issues are persistent. If doubts or insecurities become a constant source of conflict, it may indicate deeper issues that need to be addressed. Goals no longer align. If one or both partners have changed their long-term plans and the relationship no longer fits into those visions, it's worth having an honest conversation about the future. Emotional or physical exhaustion. If the relationship is consistently draining rather than uplifting, it might be time to assess whether staying together is truly the best choice for both partners. While tough times are inevitable, how you handle them together will determine the strength and longevity of your relationship. Always remember that prioritizing mutual happiness and well-being is key. What are your thoughts,
Right.
Mar?
Okay, so first off, whenever you're in long distance relationships, when the hard things are going on, make sure there's no innuendos in terms of the be cheating and not communicating. So I would probably insinuate is still your partner could be doing this or that, but let them have their moments of enjoyment whenever you're not talking to one another, when you're different locations. I mean, whenever you're talking like throughout the day. I mean, you don't have to like talk to each other like 24/7. Like give each other like space and like build up the build up the like a virtual intimacy like remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, even so, what's that? Yes, whenever I hear from you at some point in the day, then I guarantee that I won't be disappointed nor will be suspicious
Right.
if I text you first.
Okay.
I mean, if you text me first, that's a whole different story.
Right. Okay. Um, for me, focusing on self care, I didn't get to do that much in this relationship. That's a hard lesson that I now need to learn. Is focusing on myself too while I'm also in a relationship, and even before I get into a relationship, because I need to be able to boost my own happiness and my own confidence as well, and I need to be able to relax. Like I need things to do outside of my partner, and if I don't, that's a problem. And if my partner's trying to keep me from focusing on self care, then that is also a problem. I need to reevaluate the relationship.
Yeah, I was got to mention is that don't keep anything from stopping you from enjoying what's going on in your life and I think doing the things that you enjoy because because you like are in control of your own life. That enjoyment is your family, your brother, your sister. It even like God is supposed to be what gives you like your enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Even your the things that you like don't enjoy, but in the end you figure out a way.
Mm-hmm. Like, like my ex, he tried to discourage me from joining the Air Force after I graduated from college. And there have been several times where he tried to threaten to leave me because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. He was like, well, if you're going to join the Air Force, then I'm going to break up with you if you do.
Wow, that's another red flag in terms of
I
like
know.
manipulating somebody
I
to
know,
do
dude.
whatever you want.
I know, dude. I know. But I
That's like
just
that's
stayed.
like extortion.
I know. It's like either you'll do this or I leave. Which one? And it's basically like it's literally like a double-edged sword question. It's either you don't join the Air Force but you're unhappy because you it's like you don't join the Air Force and the relationship stays but you're not happy because now you have not gone down the career path that you wanted to actually go down. Or you do join the Air Force but then this boyfriend decides to break up with you because you did what you wanted to do and now you're kind of like sad that he broke up with you. You get what I mean? So it's like a
Yeah,
double-edged sword, and that's like a very unfair demand to make for somebody. Literally, it's like, oh, okay, your girlfriend wants to be a stripper. Let's just say that,
hmm
right? Your girlfriend wants to be a exotic dancer, right? And if you're fine with that, then you're fine with that, right? There are people out there who are fine with their boyfriends or girlfriends being exotic dancers or entertainers. That's cool. But there are other people who are not going to be fine with that. But if you're not fine with it, don't be like, well, I'm going to force you not to do it or I'm leaving. You just leave. Just leave.
hmm
Or if you don't want to leave, you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to deal with it because you can't force somebody to give up their dream or their goals or their job because you disagree with it or you don't like that they're doing it. If you don't like that they're doing it, you have two options. You leave or you deal with it. But you can't make them stop what they're doing. You can ask. You can always ask. You can make a suggestion if you think it's not the best route. But if
Yeah,
that
like for instance, when you were talking about that stripper example, yeah, me personally, I really don't think it's like a good idea. Like for if my girlfriend has a job as a stripper because yeah, because it's like I don't think it's just like like disrespecting like her like body like in front of everybody and people are just gonna like lose their minds and just You know what? I'm not gonna say it on here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't. I obviously cannot like control that. But I mean, I understand like why you're doing it. You're doing this. You're doing this like for money. I mean, there are like side hustles, but before you jump to that like decision, I could like show you and help you like a few ways to get money.
Right. Right. And it's that type of stuff. But the way he went about it was like, yeah, I don't want you to join the Air Force because these reasons and the reasons he gave were extremely stupid. But he was like, well, you either, give up your dream, or if you want to stay with me, or you do it and I break up with you. And the thing is like, guys, he was never going to leave me, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He just didn't want me to be happy. So regardless of whether I stayed in the Air Force or I left, he wasn't going to leave. That's called manipulation. That's called being a narcissist. So just take it from me. Don't put yourselves through that like how I did. Please.
Yeah, don't be a pushover or like somebody pressure you into doing something like you like don't want to do. And if you want to do something, go for it. Period.
Well,
like
but don't get it twisted though, Mar, because I didn't listen. Okay, I told him straight up to his face because I thought about it. No, and I really did think about it. I was like, maybe I will give up the Air Force, and then this little part of myself was like, girl, are you crazy? Don't you dare try to give up this dream that you've been planning since your junior year of high school for this person. He don't even, the way he treats you now, come on now. You're going to give up your whole career? What did your mother tell you? She almost gave up being in law school because her boyfriend who wasn't in school tried to encourage her to leave law school. And
yeah.
and then she almost did. But guess what? She stayed in law school, and guess what happened to their relationship? They weren't even together anymore. So she could have given up law school, and then this person would have broken up with her. Now what? Now she doesn't have law school or the relationship. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
I told myself, don't do what your mom did. Stick with your dream. So I told him straight to his face, I'm not giving up my dream with the Air Force. So you can deal with it or you can leave. And guess what he did? He stayed. I put my foot down. But there have been a lot of things I didn't put my foot down on, and I should have. So I guess what I learned is I need to be consistent about putting my foot down. You see what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, do you have any experience with you said you do have experience with a long distance relationship, so are you able to share any of your experiences with that if you'd like?
Oh yes, like I said, I haven't had a lot of experience in terms of like long distance, but like life has actually like gave me like clarification. But okay, one of the things that I could say is yes, in my relationship when I was in Tanzania, and she was in Pennsylvania, like I mentioned before. Yes, like only like talked like a few times, and we were talking like about life and our like and dislikes, and so we did things that a couple usually do. She's the one who like contacted me like twice. I like talked to her first more, and so things were going pretty well until like Christmas, and that's when we lost contact with one another. But you got to keep in mind is that whenever you don't like hear from anything from her like for like more than like a few days, like a day or two, that means that it's probably game over for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't realize this until my mom gave me a reality check during Valentine's Day. That's when I wanted to celebrate our like anniversary, but I got a reality check is that I haven't been in contact with her in a while. That there is no relationship. So that's the clarification. That's the clarification that I got and needed, which like really like helped me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh yes, there are some people who I actually liked, but I actually haven't like met them. I just like like I found out about them online, and I really wanted to like meet them. But I understand how dangerous like social media like can be. You got to be like super careful and make sure that they're not fake. But the people who I actually like saw, they're actually not fake, because I actually like been on their Twitch live like 3 times. But I had to think logically to myself is that it wasn't going to work out, because I really want to be in a relationship with where somebody is like close to me, like not from not living on the south like side of the country, compared to like living in the DMV. And so yeah, I decided to like put my like relationship like status on pause right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so I digress. So I haven't had like many like problems in terms of like long distance relationships, but I will say in terms of like friendships, I'm still able to like communicate with them and like give each other like an update. And whenever I get to like meet them, I make the most of it. And whenever you're in a relationship, you should do the same.
Right. I definitely agree. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways from our discussion on long distance relationships.
Yes.
Communication. Open,
Yep.
regular, and honest communication is the backbone of any long distance relationship. Whether it's daily check ins, heartfelt conversations, or virtual date nights, staying connected is essential.
Right.
Trust. Building and maintaining trust takes effort, but it's critical for your success. Transparency, consistency, and mutual respect go a long way in strengthening your bond.
Right again.
Shared experiences. Just because you're apart doesn't mean you can't create memories together. Virtual activities like cooking, gaming, or watching movies can help you feel closer, even across the miles. And finally, practical tips. From thoughtful surprises to planning in-person visits, small gestures can make a big difference. And don't forget to focus on self-care and lean on your support system during tough times. Long-distance relationships may be challenging, but with the right mindset, strategies, and commitment, they can thrive. Remember, it's not about the distance, it's about how you bridge the gap together. And I want to leave you with this. Long distance relationships definitely require effort, patience, and dedication, but they can absolutely be successful. It all comes down to mutual commitment and a strategy that works for both partners. With strong communication, trust, and a willingness to make time for each other, even the miles between you can't stop love from thriving. Remember, you're not alone in this. Many couples make long distance work and come out stronger on the other side. So if you are in LDR, keep putting in the effort, stay patient, and know that with the right approach, you can turn this challenge into an opportunity to grow together. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the ups and downs of long distance relationships. Whether you're in one right now, have been in one, or are thinking about the possibility in the future, I hope today's episode has given you some valuable insights and practical tips to make it work. Next episode, we're going to dive into the art of apologizing, how to make it count. We've all been there, whether it's a small misunderstanding or a bigger issue. Knowing how to apologize and make it right is a skill that can make or break relationships. In our next episode, we'll explore the right way to say I'm sorry, how to ensure your apology is meaningful, and why it's so important for healing and growth in any relationship. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a powerful conversation you won't want to miss. Thanks again for being here. And as always, tune into Love Unfiltered. I'm Logan, and I'll see you next time with more conversations about love, connection, and everything in between.